From playing the cringiest pranks in a wedding stereotype video to pretending one of their crew members was dead, let's have a look at all of Dude Perfect's most cringy moments from his videos. And the very first on my list are the fart jokes they played in a wedding stereotypes video. Now, look, I understand that it was a stereotype parody and that they were probably just making fun of those who engage in that sort of behavior. But guys, even watching the whole thing made my skin crawl cause of embarrassment. I mean, didn't we leave fart jokes back in 2010? Plus, playing them right in the middle of a ceremony is in such bad taste that I can't even believe these guys would choose to validate such behavior. Ever heard of grown-up behavior, guys? Speaking of grown-ups, have you seen their new parents' video? That whole thing is cringe pro max, and not because the video stands true. I mean, I've read my fair share of Reddit and Twitter stories where new parents have really crossed the weirdo line. But there's one moment from the video that just doesn't sit well with me. And it's the gender reveal part where the dad is begging, praying, and crying for the next baby to be a boy. It's sexist, for one, and also, while I know the whole thing's poking fun at the exact kind of people shown in the video, knowing the audience for Dude Perfect, they are most likely the same type of people who are laughing while watching the spoof and defending their actions. You know what I said about validating such behavior? Yep, the same applies here too. I mean, if you want to throw a ball with a guy so bad, go get some friends, right? Anyway, next up, let's talk about that time when they partnered with a gambling company for one of their videos. Now, the video itself was fine. It featured Dude Perfect members wearing concrete-made rugby shoes to show how it would feel if you were playing the sport as a non-American viewer. It sounds harmless enough, right? Except for anyone who got hit by those concrete shoes. But that's a topic for later. Anyway, now, the video was safe. But what brought in the cringe was their sponsor DraftKings, which is an American fantasy sports contest and sports betting company that allows its users to bet on teams and win prizes based on the winning bet. The decision to sponsor a video that a lot of kids watched with a gambling company shocked people. They were criticized for their declining quality, and people found it embarrassing. If they're prepared to allow anyone to sponsor their video in order to make sure that their views and money keep coming in. Guess this dude isn't so perfect after all. Another time we cringe was when they did that basketball video. Real or not, Dude Perfect's trick shots have always been a surprise for fans, but the cringe came when they did the longest basketball throw challenge and their team literally had to direct the basket to where the ball was falling. I mean, if you're doing trick shots, shouldn't you make it at least a bit challenging? I know. Dude Perfect has also called it one of their worst videos, because apparently, the basket wasn't supposed to move during the shot. But that's what makes it cringy because, guys, could you maybe accept that there will always be one shot that you'll miss in a lifetime? I mean, they didn't have to try that hard, did they? Then there's that linked pretzel video which they've just recently uploaded on Instagram. Now, there's nothing actually wrong with the video itself, just like when we were kids and you'd find four-leaved clovers or some other unusual thing like that. You know how excited we'd get and call it luck? That video reminded me of that. But then this dude started talking about selling the pretzel. Like, sure, you found a linked pretzel in a box. So what? Just eat it. Why'd you want to sell it? And do you know the worst part? If he really did want to sell it, there'd be a serious buyer waiting to buy the whole thing for $1 gazillion. You know why I think it's cringe? Then there was the time when Kobe went to space, which was a pretty amazing feat. And all in all, I feel like that's a 100% bucket list moment. But, okay, imagine this. You're part of an elite space mission and have been assigned to take a YouTuber with you to space. You think, fun. We'll get to show him all the sights and sounds of the great space outside of Earth. Only when you meet the YouTuber, you realize that he's part of Dude Perfect's team. And while he's enthusiastic, he shows it by yelling every second he's in the rocket with you. No, I'm not exaggerating. Kobe was yelling the entire time these guys were on their way. Which is so annoying and cringy because space is one place where you keep your loud YouTube energy on the down low. But nope, Dude Perfect is the first YouTuber to visit space. And they decided to send their loudest man on board, even if he does ruin the experience for everyone. Then there was the time when they released their worst injuries video, which was just a blooper reel of people hurting themselves and these guys watching and commenting on them. Now, you may be thinking, hey, why is that so cringe? Well, that's because this video was so basic. I mean, fans' reaction to the whole video started pouring in like crazy, calling Dude Perfect out for using a pre-made formula by other channels to create easy, non-creative videos for themselves. Plus, the whole thing was a little crazy, too. People falling, hitting their heads, hitting their bodies, and, nether regions. And what were these guys doing just sitting there, hanging out and laughing at every stupid fall? The video was so badly received, these guys literally had to issue an apology and unlist the video from the channel. Guess that was a lesson for the future, right? Then there was that time that they did a all-sports golf battle at the most coveted golf courses in the entire world. I'm talking about Augusta National's Amen Corner, which is probably the holy ground where politicians, A-listers, and the who's who of the world's richest circle meet up to play golf and discuss world matters. But in a classic Dude Perfect fashion, these guys went to the course and made it their playground. Now, mind you, this video was part cringe, part cute, because the whole time they were there, they played the most insane all-sports golf battle, which was basically a game of golf without using any golf equipment. Sounds crazy? It looks like it too. As soon as their video came out, a lot of people started criticizing them, saying how they were ruining the exclusivity of one of the best courses in the world. But the chairman of the course stepped in and commented that this was actually great because by playing on this course, these guys were actually promoting golf among their younger fans. He said that the game had become so closed off to them, it'll be good for younger fans to learn about the game, even if it was through this bizarre competition. Well, his goal was achieved because once this crazy, fun, and also a little cringy video came out, while some hated it, others loved it. The video's currently got 13 million views, and they just keep growing. Guess the golf battle really did work, didn't it? Guess cringy, crazy content is exactly what works in the Dude Perfect demographic, right? And I'm literally not wrong at all because I have one last example of when a cringe campaign got Dude Perfect exactly the kind of publicity they needed. I'm talking about the time Garrett Hilbert died. Yup, he literally acted to be dead, or maybe he was framed. But knowing Dude Perfect, it was probably the former. Basically, what happened was a tweet from a user account went viral about Garrett dying from a car crash, and that everyone was mourning his death, including the rest of the Dude Perfect members and Hilbert's family. This news caught fire as fans started to question whether the news was true or not. This happened on September 11th, but on the day no other DP member even addressed the news being a hoax. Fans weren't sure, of course, but no one had any way to find out until September 12th when Hilbert posted on his Instagram. Of course, that was a relief, but are you telling me that these super hyperactive guys didn't even try to dismiss the rumors? I mean, it probably would have taken just a phone call to confirm whether Hilbert was alive or not. This is the reason why I say this whole thing was a ruse and was a way to drive publicity to an upcoming Dude Perfect tour. I know, I sound like a conspiracy theorist right now, but you never know with these guys. And there you have it, from pretending one of their crew members was dead, to playing the most childish pranks in their stereotype videos, all the cringiest moments from Dude Perfect